Hi. All right, so forgiveness is a huge issue for a lot of people. And we tend to hold on to things, hold on to events and things that people say to us. And what happens is that we build this wall, this grudge, you could say, lower vibration, and it is holding us back from actually shining our light. And if you've watched any of my videos to date, it has all been about showing and like sharing your light. Everything is about vibration, and the vibration that you're wearing is all around you. And you could fill up the room, the house, and people feel the vibration before you even say anything. So what happens when we hold on to a grudge, or we hold on to the fact that someone did what to us, and you did this, you did that, you said this, all kinds of things like that. I mean, the list goes on. And you not only hold yourself back, but you hold them back. And in a spiritual sense, somewhere in you, that you are a spiritual being here to have a human experience. And so the process that I'm going to share with you is actually for your human mind, because as a spiritual being, there's nothing to forgive. You know that everything happened, everything's in divine order, and it's everything that brought you to this moment. And so with the process, and I believe I may have done this before in the past, but it's important enough to bring it to the surface again and talk about it. So there's a lot of magic that comes of doing this. I can share with you that I had quite a few people that what you do, I'll give you a little, how to before we get into the meditation. So you're standing on the edge of a river, and the river's flowing nicely. It's nice, calm, flowing river. And what happens is everyone that you have been unable to forgive, or that you're angry at for saying this or doing that, is behind you. So you're holding all of them back from your future. And keeping them there isn't doing you any good. So the way the energies are coming at the planet, and there's quite a bit right now, we are to allow to come to the surface so we could let go. And this is one of the biggest things. Some people always bring it to the surface and they hold on to it. It's like they're not willing to let it go. When you consider the fact that this is holding you back, then you may be willing to let it go. So what happened to me when I did this process is that I had a bunch of people behind me, and what I did is I allowed them to come up one at a time, and I had a conversation with them. I let them know how they hurt my feelings and how I felt about it, and then I forgave them. And because I know that everything happened for a reason. And so it was actually a long process, because I had quite a few people to forgive. And so the little bit of time that we're going to spend doing the process, you may want to go back to it and actually do the process in your own time, so that you could forgive every single person that you feel any kind of lower vibration with. So are you ready to get started? So basically, just start breathing. Breathe really, really deep. And I think I've said already that somewhere in you knows the truth, right? And we could actually do that. That could be a really good process, is Somewhere in you knows that you are light. Somewhere in you knows that you have nothing to fear. And somewhere in you knows the truth of who you really are and that you're a light being. So now all we have to do is ask that somewhere to tell the rest of you now. So there's an energetic exchange when you're asking this to happen, and this exchange is all done on a cellular level. So your cells are sharing with your other cells, your DNA, and there's a knowingness within us that things are different on an energetic level. And it goes through your entire body. So it's pretty cool. So it's kind of like a clearing energy request when you're asking the knowingness in your body to tell the rest of you. So take a deep breath, because even that itself very powerful. Okay, inhale and exhale. Now with every meditation I do, I love to inhale white light. So let's just bring our light levels up. So inhale white light and exhale golden light. I love working with golden light. It actually raises your vibration quite a bit. So inhaling white light and exhale golden light. Now visualize yourself on the bank that I already mentioned. You're on the bank, and I want you to turn around and have your back to the river and ask people one at a time to come up. And these are all people that you need to forgive. And I'm a little leery about saying need, because it's not like you need to. It's your human mind will accept it better, because as a spiritual being, you know that everything happened for a reason. It's just your human mind that needs to do this forgiveness. All right, so one at a time, you bring the people up that you need to forgive, and you have a conversation with them, a positive conversation. You forgive them. They forgive you if they need to. And then you allow them to either walk into the river or get into a canoe, paddleboard, whatever you want to use. It's your visualization. So visualize them getting into the water and then floating away. So now they're going with the flow. They're on their journey. They're able to move on. When you holding them back because of holding a grudge or whatever it is that's going on. So now they're going. So now you bring the next person up and you have a conversation with them and you forgive them and they forgive you. You allow them to go into the river and they float away. Again, on any device you want. They can just go into the river and flow gently away. And with every person that you forgive and they forgive you, your body feels lighter and lighter. So like I said earlier, you may want to get back and doing that if you've got a lot of people to do. I know for myself, I had to spend quite a few minutes on doing the forgiveness. I had longer conversations with some people. It felt good to get everything off my chest. But the end result was me forgiving them and them forgiving me and me allowing them to go into the water. And so once you may not be done right now, but you can go back and finish this later. The very last is yourself. So once you get everybody that's lined up there that you've been holding back, then you turn towards the water and you forgive yourself. Know that you are a spiritual being, that every single thing happened as it should, period. so that you forgive yourself. If you want, put your hands on your heart. Forgive yourself. Sometimes this takes quite a bit. I cried my eyes out when I did this process. It was mind-boggling how many people I had to forgive. I had no idea. And then when it came time to forgive myself, that was huge. So you forgive yourself, and then you walk into the water, and then you are on your path. You're floating, going with the flow, just gently down the river. Now I want you to take a deep breath, because even if you got just a couple people done, it's very powerful. And I would like to seal the deal with some light language. I call it soul language. So place your hands on your heart and listen with your heart. This will cause your body to vibrate. You won't understand the words, and that's fine. We don't have to, our human mind doesn't need to know what it means. It's our spiritual self that knows the language, our soul. All right, so take a deep breath. Akashanini kile da kashanana kola da sanana are kide kile shanana kola da shanana kala da kasanana ko shanana kala da kasanana. Once you're in the river, you're flowing and you've got a vortex around you. Akashanini kile da kashanana kola da kasanana kala da kasanana kashanana ko. Once the vortex is going, everything you ever desired is in this vortex. Ko shanana kala da katikile da kashanana kola da kasanana ka ayare ki sanana kashanana ko. Akita kolala kokara kasanana katakile la kasanana kashanana kolala kasana. They're showing me this beautiful, like glowing, like the river just brightened up with all the light that we have in our body from the people that we have forgiven, that we've done the process with, the light we're holding, and the water is just glistening as we are all floating down this river. There'll be times where we go back on the bank again and we're not in the flow, and know that it is just as easy to get back in. So whether you have to forgive yourself or you just turn around and think, what am I doing? Get back into the present moment, get into the water, and it's all just a visualization in your mind. And then you start flowing. Aki shanana kola da kasanana kashanana kola da manakile da kashanana kashanana kola da kashanana kala da ki de kata koshanana kata ki de kata kola da kasanana kata kala da kashanana. Everything is about allowing, and allowing yourself permission to forgive, and that is just for your human mind. As a spiritual being, we don't need any of that. All right, so that is one very big thing to think about, but do consider doing the process. And I thought I was over, so just 1 second. Everything as long as you're in the flow and you're allowing your life to unfold, be the observer and watch what unfolds, because it's pretty powerful when you're not holding anybody back and you're not holding yourself back by not forgiving yourself. All right, so I hope you found this beneficial. Leave me a comment. What did you feel? And did you have to go back? Like, I had a ton of people I had to forgive. So it'd be interesting to know how many of us actually, you know, had that many. Yeah. So anyways, keep an eye out. There's a podcast that's it's actually, my podcast has probably been live now for a little bit. Same processes in there. It might be a little bit different and more information. All right, so have a wonderful night. Namaste.